The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the iSpring Solutions webinar. Thank you very much for joining us today. As today we will have the first workshop dedicated to the new version of iSpring Suite, iSpring Suite 9. And in this session, we will talk about the revamped Quizmaker. My name is Paulina. I am the community manager here at iSpring, and I will be the moderator for today's webinar. As a speaker, I have invited my colleague Sofia from support department. Hi, Sofia. How are you doing today?
Hello, Paulina. Hello, guys. I'm doing great. And how are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. Thank you very much, Sofia, for again taking care of our workshops. And I know that a lot of you guys really love how Sofia is doing these types of webinars. So I hope that today you will like it as well. And if you guys have any questions, as always, you're more than welcome to send them to us, and my other colleague, Anna, from the support department as well, will be taking care of them during the webinar. Hi, Anna. Thank you very much for joining. How are you today?
Hi, Paulina, and hi, guys. Thank you for having me. I'm doing great, and how are you doing?
I'm awesome. Thanks for asking, Anna. So, guys, if you would like to ask any questions, if you would like to send any information, any comments, any concerns, or feature requests regarding iSpring Suite 9, please look at your GoToWebinar panel, and on the right side, somewhere at the bottom, you will see the question box, and this is the place where you can submit your questions, and you can see how it looks on my screen right now. As always, this session is being recorded, so it will be sent to all of you guys after the webinar. However, I would like to encourage all of you to stay till the very end because I think it's a wonderful opportunity to address all your questions directly to iSpring experts. Okay, so I think at this point we are ready to begin. So, Sophia, let me please pass the mic over to you.
Sure.
And before we actually move on to the Sophia's part, I would like to mention that if you guys would like to get the new version of iSpring Suite, please send your request in the question box as well as your email address. This way we will know that we will need to contact you after the webinar. Okay, I'm done on my end. So Sophia, you're more than welcome to begin.
Paulina, do you see my screen?
Yes, I
Okay,
can see your screen.
great. And then I will disable webcam.
Mm-hmm.
1 second. Hello, everyone. Once again, thank you so much for joining us today. So first of all, could you please let me know if you can hear and see me okay? If something goes wrong during the presentation, please let us know in the question box on the right side of the GoToWebinar panel. I'm excited to share my knowledge with you and I'm open to any feedback after the webinar. Today I will be really happy to demonstrate step by step how you can create, drag and drop and hotspot questions, enjoy the major interface enhancements, set up the updated player, utilize the built-in equation editor, and apply new test settings to ensure a better learner workflow. As you know, guys, the new version of iSpring Suite 9 has recently been released, and today I'm really happy to tell you how to use the new functionality of iSpring Quizmaker and share with you some information regarding the main updates and general changes in the program. By the end of the webinar, you should be able to create drag and drop and hotspot questions and fully work with the revamped iSpring Quizmaker. Paulina?
Excuse me. I was in the chat. Can you repeat again?
Paulina, do you have any polls?
No, not at the moment. Thank you, Sophia.
Okay, then I think that we are ready to begin. So
Mm-hmm.
I will start by opening the iSpring Quizmaker program as a separate module. Please find the program in the Windows pane here. Select the iSpring QuizMaker None folder or iSpring Suite and open the program. Now let me show you what has changed in the new version. To better do so, I will open a ready-made quiz. By the way, by the end of May, it should be available on our website for download. As you can see, the program interface has been significantly updated. The first thing I would like to go over is the Form View tab here. Now when you add a new question, there are no separate lists for graded and survey question types. Now it's just one menu. So let's add a question, for example, multiple choice. And in order to change its type, I will go to the Slide Options pane and do so here in the Question Type section. I, for example, will choose Survey type. Let me also note that the Likert scale here and the essay questions are still survey questions, which means that you can't use them for grading. I will remove this question. And now let's move on and see what has changed in the feedback section here. It is now possible to include as much information as needed to create training quizzes. Let me show you our pre-made question where we need to recommend the right type of headphones according to the client's request. Okay, I will click on the Submit button. And after selecting the incorrect choice, the long feedback message appears, and here you can read detailed information about the model of headphones, scroll pictures and tables, and also learn something new for yourself. As far as I know, many people were interested in how to make the same feedback message in their courses and quizzes. So let me show you where it can be customized. Please select the question. Find the feedback section at the bottom and click on these three dots called Edit Feedback next to the incorrect. In the opened window, you can easily insert different images into this feedback message tables as pictures, change their sizes, and arrange them as you want. For example, you can place them in the line with text, between paragraphs, or wrap text. Plus, you can add equations and symbols here in the text, a video, audio, and hyperlinks right from the Insert section. You can also change text, for example, make it cursive, bold, or underlined. You can use the settings both for the incorrect feedback and for the correct one. Also, you don't have to save the settings because all the information will be accepted automatically, so just close the window by clicking here. To customize the branching for a particular question and set points for correct and incorrect answers, just click on the corresponding fields at the bottom here. All these fields. Also, a very important interface update was added for each question. Previously, in order to set up score, attempts, shuffling answers, etc., you had to go to the properties. But now it's possible to do this right in the question interface by going to the Slide Options pane. Also guys, for some questions, additional options are available. For example, if you create a multiple choice question, you will see by choice in the feedback here, branching and score lists. And after selecting them, for example in the branching, these options will appear in the choices area here. This allows you to see individual settings for each answer. Plus, you can shuffle answers here, limit the response time to questions, and select a graded or survey question type in the list as I previously mentioned here. In the bottom right corner, You will see a small question layout that allows you to see how your question will look after publishing or previewing. Okay guys, now we are done with the form view interface, so now let's move on to the part that you've been excited about, the creation of hotspot and drag and drop questions. Now I will start by creating an updated hotspot question. First, please click on the question button and select hotspot and add it to the slide. After that, you will see two main options. You can add an image from your computer by selecting the From File option and select a picture of a screwdriver, or by selecting the option called From Clipboard. This time I will choose the From File option and select our picture, screwdriver picture. From File, screwdriver. One moment. So, okay, great. On the right part, you will see the picture you inserted recently, and on the left, there are hotspot shapes that you can add to indicate the correct answers. Please keep in mind that if you choose a free-form shape, this type of free-form, you must close it as soon as you want to finish drawing. Let me add a few correct shapes to the picture. I will choose an oval shape. We'll place it here. And the last one. Now you can see that the list with all the hotspot answers was automatically generated when we added the second shape, this list I mean. I think this question is done for now, so we can move on to the main settings on the right pane. If you select several attempts to answer this question, for example 3 attempts, you can leave the hotspot markers in the same state after failing the question or clean them from the picture before a new attempt here. I will select the Clear Markers option in the drop-down list. Let's see how the hotspot question looks in the preview mode. So, if I select incorrect areas on our picture, for example here, and start the second attempt, you will notice that all the markers have disappeared from the slide. Also, your learner can put as many markers as they want. For example, here, you can see many markers. However, all these markers should be located in one correct area. So, great job! Now I will tell you about our new question, which is called drag and drop, and we will also create almost the same example of the question, which I will show you soon. Anyway, this webinar will be definitely recorded and uploaded to YouTube so that you can watch it at any time and repeat all the steps after me. Let me show you a ready-made version of the drag and drop question with a screwdriver so that you can see how it works. Let me quickly open it and preview for you. So, here we should drag the blocks with the names of the parts of the screwdriver to the appropriate places. There is a speed switch, torque control, speed control, and battery. Here it is. After previewing this ready-made drag and drop, we are ready to create the same question from scratch. To do so, let's go back to our quiz. Okay, let's click the question button and select the drag and drop question here. After that, you will see some short instructions on how to create and work with it. Let's quickly read them. Add 2 or more shapes in slide view. Then set the drag items and drop targets in form view. If you click on the hyperlink under the instructions, a short video will pop up on the screen on how to create a drag and drop question. Now let's go back and click on the Proceed button to redirect to the Slide View tab where we can create and edit our question. So first, select the downloaded picture from your computer or laptop and place it wherever you want. For example, I will go to the Insert tab, Picture, here, and I will select our screwdriver picture. And I will place it here, for example. After that, we should add text boxes to create correct or incorrect responses. I will also insert our question here. So to add a text box, please click on the Insert and select this option, Text Box, and place it, for example, here. I will write speed switch. After that, we need to go to the Format tab and select the standard template in the list. In this tab, Format tab, and I will select the blue template, for example, this one. To change the block size, you should right-click on the text block and choose Format Shape in the drop-down list. Right-click, Format Shape. Here you will see a huge number of built-in settings where you can add a shadow, glow, and transparent shapes, plus resize text blocks and change their alignments. To enlarge the block, please select the text box icon and set the Do Not Auto-Fit option here. After the section, please enlarge the text box like this. And I will quickly do the same thing with the other new blocks. So I will just copy this text box, paste it, and change the text to torque control. And I will also check the drag items. Okay, great. So we should copy this text box once again. Copy, paste by using the combination Ctrl+C, Ctrl+V. Then it will be speed control. And the last one, battery. To create our drop targets, we need to add several rectangles to the slide and make them transparent. To do this, please select Shape on the Insert tab, Shape, Rectangle, and place it, for example, here. After that, you have to rename this shape in the Form View tab so that all the rectangles don't get mixed up. So let's go back to the Form View, click on the drop target, and select the rectangle one, the first rectangle, and let's rename it to the speed switch. Okay, great. Let's go back to the slide view. I will copy this rectangle and paste it. Place it, for example, here. Go back to the form view. Select drop target, speed switch once again, but I will rename this rectangle to torque control. Once again, paste the rectangle, place it here, go back to form view, rename to speed control, and the last one it will be speed control here, and this rectangle belongs to battery. Okay, after renaming the shapes in this shape, we should do the same. We should make our rectangles transparent. So to do this, please right-click on the rectangle and select Format Shape in the drop-down list. In the Fill and Line sections, you need to choose Complete Transparency in order to hide these rectangles. Here, Fill section and Line section here. I will make our rectangle transparent. Please note that if you select the None option in both the Fill and Line sections here and here, your shape will be removed from the slide. Please do the same thing with the other rectangles. Complete transparency, I mean, and the last rectangle. Okay, great. Also, we have to add several markers to show learners which part of the screwdriver they should match with the correct answer. I will add an oval shape from the Insert tab, Shape, Oval. Here I will draw. Then I will select this format and change the weight of the outline to 4 pixels. And place it here, for example. Okay. I also should copy it a few times. Ctrl C, Ctrl V. And the last one. Okay, let's return back to the Form View tab and set the drag items. In the drag item section, we will put our created and formatted text blocks. So, text box speed switch next to the drop target speed switch. Then torque control, speed control, and our battery. Okay guys, should I repeat anything for you one more time? Please leave your comments in the question box.
Sophia, there is one question from Bob. He says, I like to use transparency. Is there a recommendation that you found works best? I realize every picture is different. Do you understand the question, or do we need any other details?
Yes, could you please repeat it once again, Paulina?
Sure. So Bill says, I like to use transparency. Is there a recommendation that you found works best? I realize every picture is different.
Bob, could you please tell us what do you mean on the different pictures?
Mm-hmm.
So, for example,
At this point,
uh-huh.
Sorry, go ahead.
Thank you. So, for example, if you have some places, let me quickly preview this drag and drop question. So, as you can see, these rectangles disappeared from our slide because of transparency. So it can be a good way to create such these quizzes. For example, speed switch, yes, torque control, speed control, and battery. So you can use transparency to hide some places, some figures, etc. Or for example, if you have, let me, I don't have this question, So for example, yeah. So for example, if you have figures on the slide and
So
they should be hidden. So in this way, you should use this option like transparency. I suppose there are no recommendations.
actually, Bob sent us some info in addition. He says, I get that pictures can be different. For example, bright, dark, heavy or light contrast, but is there a recommended transparent level for the blocks?
I believe no, there are no recommendations.
Okay. But if we're talking about the
Text boxes.
transparency, mm-hmm,
If you mean transparency of text boxes, then you can do them transparent a bit. For example,
mm-hmm,
format shape, transparent, color.
mm-hmm.
Just 1 second. Uh-huh. This is shadow. I believe that for text blocks, I believe that not. Only for color.
He asks what level of transparency did you use? 25%, 50%? I think it was 100, right?
100 here. For our rectangles.
Completely transparent.
Yes.
Yeah.
In the fill section and the inline section, we use 100%
Mm-hmm.
transparency. But for the text boxes, you can use, for example, uh, transparency of the color
Mm-hmm.
and also some shadows, glows, etc. So
Sure.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Let's move on for now, and then we still have some questions dedicated to this, but we will get back to them during the Q&A. So guys, don't worry, we will get back to them. And Sophia, please go ahead so that we can
Thank you.
cover all the material. Mm-hmm.
So 1 second. So let's quickly check our question once again. I mean, how our question works now. So
Mm-hmm.
there is a speed switch, torque control, speed control, and battery. Submit, and here it is. Excellent. Now let's have a look at the settings we can apply to our question. In addition, individual settings for the drag and drop question were added. So I will go to the Form View tab. I mean the drag and drop options here. Here you can set the way objects will be dragged to the target area and also customize the snapping type. For example, cascade, random order, etc. As in the hotspot, you can clear all markers before a new attempt. If you select it to skip the question, first you need to, for example, set 2 attempts and then return drag items to start points. So here I will choose any drop target, not correct drop target, just any drop. And for example, stack random. So let's preview slide once again. With settings that we have already used. For example, I will do the incorrect answer. Try again, and they return back. Torque control, speed control, and battery. Okay, great. We've just created a drag and drop question from scratch. Now you should be able to create the same example in your projects. To finish this part of the webinar, I'd like to tell you about the results slides. Now you can see only one result slide instead of two in this list. However, you can easily switch between the passed and failed tabs if you select them in the opened section. You can specify the final action in the drop-down list. For example, close browser window, go to URL, don't show close button. And also write the final feedback and edit it in the slide view tab here. And also edit the text here. Right in the settings, the results on the final slide can be hidden, removed, or shown. Setting up the slide without results is very convenient for those who don't want to let learners see their correct and incorrect answers at the end of the quiz. If you select the option Show slide with results, you may notice that a huge number of settings is now at your fingertips. You can let your learner review the quiz here, retake it several times, and show their detailed results. How are you doing, guys? Do you have any questions regarding these two parts of the webinar? I have a couple of minutes to answer them, so please leave any comments you have in the question box.
I think, Sophia, you can keep going, and then we will have a block to answer all these questions at once so that we don't move back and forth, okay?
Okay, thank you very much, Paulina. And now let me continue the webinar by overviewing the slide view tab. This tab. So what has changed here? As in the previous iSpring QuizMaker version 8.7, you can still edit questions and answers, add pictures, video, audio narrations, etc. I'd like to point out that all slide options can be applied and customized in the slide view tab as well. For example, these slide options. Regarding the settings, you will see new slide layer functions below the slide options here, with which you can see how your feedbacks looks now. If you want to disable it, please select None in the drop-down list here. For example, like that. I'd also like to show you the improved Insert tab here. On this tab, you can create new questions, add info slides for a quiz, different pictures, ready-made or free-form shapes, audio, video, characters from the content library, equations, objects here, and backgrounds. Let's look at these shapes and work with them once again. I will create a new question. So I will draw any shape, for example, a novel. And after that, it automatically switches to the Format tab. As you can see, the Format tab is very similar to the PowerPoint editor in terms of handling and managing shapes and effects. You can add a shadow and a glow to the shape effects. For example, then select the outlines here and fill off the shape. Choose the formatting templates in the drop-down list or edit shapes as required. If I return back to the Insert tab, I can add text boxes anywhere to the slide. Text box, here for example. And also insert equations. Now I'd like to tell you about the equation editor in more detail. As you know, in order to work with equation editor in iSpring QuizMaker 8.7, it was necessary to install the Microsoft Equation program as a separate module. In the new version 9, our developers made this built equation editor, which allows you to work with formulas and symbols directly from the program. You can immediately select the place where you want to add the equation. For example, insert equation. I will put it here, and I will select radical, common radicals. I can also change the size of the font. Okay, and now you can insert these formulas directly from the program and use and work with them on the Equation Tools tab here. There is a huge number of the same tools as in Microsoft Word or PowerPoint. On the Design tab, you can set a standard theme for your quiz, for example like that, or format the background. On the Animations tab, you can set available animations. For example, I will select this question and choose Appear animation. I can also set effect settings, for example, all at once or by answer, and animation duration or delay. These options allow you to make your quiz more engaging for your learners. Let's see what has changed in our player. To do this, go to the Home tab and select Player. As you can see, two new tabs have been added, called Features and Navigation. Now the progress information and question list can be found in the Features section. So you can show question number, show awarded points, or show question list. In the Navigation section, here, the answer submission settings have been moved from the Properties to this tab. So here you can select to submit one question at a time or all at once and enable or disable navigation using the question list. In addition, in the Resume section, here you will see the same option that you have already configured in the Publish window in iSpring Suite. Now you can always resume your quiz, start over, or prompt to resume. Again, all these options you can customize in the Navigation tab. In the Colors tab, new colors have been added to the scheme, and in the Text Labels tab, our developers have added more fields that you can change. Now let's go to the last part of our webinar in order to view the general settings that you can use for the entire quiz. First, let's close this window and open Properties on the main toolbar. For your convenience, I will cover the settings groups one by one. So, regarding main properties, I have wonderful news for you guys. You asked and we listened. Now you can change the size of the final quiz window after publishing. Set its height and width here. If you want to enter your own values, you should uncheck the Keep Aspect Ratio option here. Then quiz scoring. You can select the scoring type here and choose other passing requirements if you need. So scoring in percent points and set the passing score. Then I will go to the question properties. And I should mention that a very important option has appeared in the new version of iSpring QuizMaker to which you should pay close attention. I mean the button Apply to All. If you click on this button, the settings that you select in the phone list will be applied to all the questions that you have already created. Also, it should be noted that the settings used for all the other questions will also be used for newly added questions. Let me quickly show you how it works. I will change the point value to 30 here and press Apply to All, Apply, and Save. I will create a new question. Go back to the Form View tab. And as you can see, the settings have been automatically applied to our new question here. Plus, I will open the properties once again. Plus, in the feedback section, here you can enable or disable these options. Show feedback for graded questions and for survey questions. The Try Again field is intended for answers with several attempts, and the Answered field works only for survey type of questions. I will go to the question list now, and here you can choose the questions that will be included in your quiz. You can select any questions from all groups, several random groups, or specific ones, and also specify their number and shuffle them in your quiz. And the last function is reporting. You can send quiz results to the instructor, who will check all the answers here, to the student, and to a server. Please choose what will be included in the final report here. For example, users' answers, correct answers, and the feedback text. If you have an IT department, they can set and execute GS commands. I think that's all, guys. Thank you for your attention, and if you're interested in pricing for our products, please leave your emails in the question box of the GoToWebinar panel.
Thank you very much, Sophia. I actually received a lot of comments that our attendees like the webinar, so thanks a lot for presenting for us today. And at this point, I think we're ready for the Q&A session. So let's take care of the questions that Anna didn't get to. Anna, if you don't mind. Okay, so first of all, let's cover the question going back to the transparency and stuff like that from Colleen. She says, what if the user doesn't get the answer exactly in the transparent area? Does it allow it to be slightly out of that area when dropping in?
It depends, actually it depends on settings that you set in the iSpring Quiz Maker. So let me quickly show you. For example, drag and drop. Here you can select, for example, any drop target or don't snap. If you select any drop target, that your user will definitely drop the drag item to the drop target anyway. And if you select, for example, don't snap, then you will see this situation. Let me show you. Previous slide.
And there were a couple of questions like this one, so.
So for example,
thanks for covering it.
If you drag this text box, you can place it wherever you want. So for example, if your learner set it or place it in the incorrect place, so like this, for example. So if they click submit, so the choice will be incorrect. So for example, if you want that your learner drag blocks or anything else to the appropriate places, you should select any drop target. if you want to that you learn to place boxes or objects anywhere on the slide, you should select Don't Snap option. I believe that's all.
Thanks, Sophia. And another question is from Erin. Can you set a quiz background so that it matches the background of the rest of your presentation?
Yeah, if your quiz is a part of your course. So, okay, let me, yeah. So, for example, if your quiz is a part of your course, that then in the player, I believe, in the player, I believe in the features section, you will see another option like use the
Oh, you just disappeared.
hello? Do you hear me?
Can you repeat? Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah. So in this module, we opened iSpring Quiz Maker as a separate module, and therefore we cannot see this option in the player. I mean, use the presentation background. However, if you open your course and insert quiz into your course, open it here. So if you go to the player features, as far as I remember, uh, you will see here an option called use the presentation background or something like that. So yes, you can use a background from your presentation in the quiz.
Thank you very much, Sophia. Um, there's also a question from Olivier. And can you insert an Excel page file directly into a slide?
No, I'm sorry to say, but there is no option to add Excel files directly to the iSpring Quiz Maker or to the question. You can, for example, insert some tables as pictures into question. So, for example, you select question you want, add picture in this area, for example, or in this area on the slide view tab, and insert this table into your question. Just only one option.
Okay, thank you. And the next question is from Russell. Does the slide view have the option to add grids, rulers, or guides? Sometimes I have problems lining objects the same over different slides, for example, result slides.
Could you please, Polina, tell once again this question once again?
Repeat? Sure.
Repeat. Yeah.
So he's asking about the slide view. Does the slide view have the option to add grids, rulers, or guides? Because sometimes he has problems aligning objects.
As for rules, guides, I believe that not. Here. Only pictures, some shapes, info slides, for example, questions from the slide view, equations, hyperlink symbols, video, audio, characters, and backgrounds and objects. I believe that not.
Okay, thank you very much, Sophia. And moving on to the next question from Linda. I would like to see how essay question type works. So can you demonstrate it?
Yeah, I understand. So, for example, you click on the question button, add a multiple choice question, and for example, graded or survey. And I will preview slide option. So I believe that's all. 1 second, please. Feedback By result, may skip shuffle answers. So yeah, you will see the feedback like thank you. This feedback belongs to the next field in the properties. 1 second. To the answered. For example, hello. I write hello. Save. Preview slide. Thank you. Answered feedback. Yeah, I understand. One moment. And preview once again. Yeah. So this is a survey type of question because you can see unanswered feedback that we customize in the properties. So just only survey types of question have this kind of feedback message. For example, if you select question type graded, then you will see another feedback message. Let me preview it. So incorrect. You didn't select the correct response, etc.
So this is the essay type of question.
Yeah, I showed a graded question type and the survey one.
Yeah, because there is a question from William, how to grade an essay question. Essay questions are not multiple choice.
You mean essay?
Yes.
I'm sorry, really. So, yeah, as you can see, you have only 5 options for feedback by result. So it can be graded type. The same thing you will see for a Likert scale. So thank you, hello. So essay and also Likert scale. So the same thing, feedback none by result, and scale options. And that's all. You can't grade any points for this question.
Thanks, Sophia. Hope that answers your question. And the next one is from Colleen. Can you use the feedback by question if it's a multi-select question? I guess it's multiple choice.
Multiple choice, maybe. You can use by result feedback for this type of question, or by choice also. And you can customize the feedback for each choice for option 1, 2, or 3. Or you can disable it.
So Colleen was talking about multiple response type of question.
Multiple response, I get it. So yeah, feedback by result or none. You don't have feedback by choice for this type of question. And the same thing with score.
Okay, thank you, Sophia. And a question from Nailin. How about inserting media like audio and video in an answer feedback? Is it there in a new version? For example, if I could explain the learner using audio or video that why his answer is right or why his answer is wrong. In short, multimedia feedback for every question answer.
Yeah, you can use audio or video. Just a second. For example, I will select multiple choice and click on the added feedbacks. These 3 dots. And I can insert audio here. I don't have any audio files on the computer, but as you can see, you can use WAV, MP3, or VMA files and click Open button and add it to the slide. And you can also select picture here insert pictures or video files if you click on this field, on the text field. Also, for example, equations, etc. So you can insert audio and video files in the feedback messages.
Hope that answers your question, Naylin. And I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name, Josie. Can you record audio to the feedback right in Quizmaker, like with the question slides, or do you have to have a separate audio file?
Let's quickly check this.
Okay.
Stop. Okay. And as you can see, the audio was inserted on the slide, so you can play.
So you can record and also add existing audio track.
So to do this, you should click on the correct or incorrect section, then go to the let me delete, then audio record mic. You can also select audio options to select your microphone and set the volume, set up microphone. And you should click on the record mic to record your audio narration.
Okay, thanks a lot, Sophia. And at this point, it looks like we need to wrap up because the time's up. And guys, I would like to invite you to our next webinar that's going to be held in 2 weeks. So let me quickly get the link for you. It's going to be dedicated to creating cool content in the Advanced Video Studio. It's going to be held on May 22nd at 12 p.m. Eastern Time, United States, and I'm going to send the link so that you can sign up for this webinar right now, and you may see it in the chat box. And again, thank you very much to all of you for joining us today. We would very much appreciate if you can send us a couple of words if you like this workshop, if we need to keep going with this type of sessions, and maybe how we can enhance them. So any kind of recommendations you can give to us, this will be very much appreciated. And I would like to thank Sophia and Anna for being at today's webinar. Sophia, thanks for speaking, and Anna, thanks for taking care of the questions in the chat. Thanks, ladies.
Thank you very much, Paulina, for this webinar, and also thank you very much, you guys, for all your questions and for your attention. And Anna, sure.
Okay, thank you for having me, and I hope that you all enjoyed the webinar. And if any questions come up, feel free to contact us via email or just call us, and we will be happy to help.
Thanks, Anna. And there are some questions about if we're going to have workshop on the new interactions added to the version 9. Yes, guys, we will have this workshop, and Anna actually will be the speaker for this workshop. And I'm sending the link for you to register for it right now in the chat. Okay, so the whole May we have the workshop series, and we really hope and believe that you guys will enjoy our sessions. Okay, so I hope that everyone has a wonderful day, and I'll see you on May 22nd with Sophia and I think Anna as well, and we will be talking about the new video editor. Thanks guys for joining, and have a wonderful day. Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.